Hey guys, welcome to the newest episode of Coffee Combos. I'm bringing the energy for Lindsie this morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, let me just start off with today's Monday, and I dropped Lincoln off at school and forgot his lunch. So after we podcast, I'm gonna drop him off a lunch. I also was supposed to be fasting for blood work this morning, but I forgot about the blood work and I agreed to podcast this morning. So then I was like, well, shit, now I have to fast like 3 extra hours. And so I decided to just eat.
Oh my gosh. That's the worst. Like, honestly, okay, I could probably fast for like a solid 12 hours and be perfectly fine. However, it's like whenever you know that you have to do it, it's like a whole different ballgame.
Right. Like until I remember, I went to go make coffee this morning and I was like, oh my God, I can't even have this. And this is for my Accutane. So I need to get my Accutane pills on Wednesday. So I have to have my blood work in today. And I'm like, I literally, because, well, if it was a week where I didn't have my kids, I would have woke up extra early to then go get my blood work and then podcast. But I have all the kids, so I had to get Isaac on the bus, Lincoln to school, and then Chris's sister's here watching the baby for me while I do this. And I'm like, I can't fast for an extra 3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours is a long time. And especially when you have
like
responsibilities.
I've already been fasting for 12.
Oh my God.
So it's like I'm hungry. A bitch is hungry.
And then you ruined it. Like,
Honestly,
it.
So I'm going to have to go first thing in the morning to get blood work so that I can get my Accutane pills on time. What did you do this weekend?
Well, actually, since Will was at his parents' on Saturday, Jackson and I slept in on Saturday morning, which was nice. And then we went to see Wreck-It Ralph, Breaks the Internet. So it was a lot of fun.
Was it good? Because my kids want to see it.
Okay, so I want to tell every parent, aunt, uncle, dad, mom, whoever's listening about Ralph Breaks the Internet because it was so stinking cute, like so cute.
Okay, good, because I definitely want to take the kids.
And there were so many like little life lessons in the movie too, which I don't really take Jackson to the movies because that's a thing that Will's parents do with him. They always take him to see like whatever the newest thing is out. And so that's their thing. So I try not to do movies with him because I know it's going to take away from something that they can do.
Right.
And they enjoy doing that. But with this being like our first time in so long going to the movies, he was super excited about it. But I honestly didn't realize how much concessions were at the movie theater.
The movies are so expensive. They're like, that's why you have to sneak them in your purse. Like, honestly, I took a poll because I always thought my whole life it was illegal to bring in snacks. I thought it was illegal to bring in snacks from outside, but I think it's just frowned upon. But it's like also illegal. It's frowned upon to pay $10 for a medium popcorn.
Let me just tell you, okay? So I get there, and it's a young girl that's checking me out, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe she's got it wrong. Like, could be possible. Don't want to question her job abilities, but like, this is a bit expensive. So I only ordered like a kid's pack. So that comes with like the popcorn, the gummies, and the drink. And then I ordered a drink and a small popcorn. Okay, well, first of all, let me just tell you, the small popcorn that I got would have fed a tribe. Okay?
Right.
So that's like not a small. And no. 2, the drink that I got was just like a regular drink, but it was basically like one of those like big gulps or something from like a gas station. It was like a huge drink. And I'm like, okay, I didn't order all of this, but like whatever. So she's like, that'll be $43.52. And I'm like,
$43? That's like a whole freaking dinner.
Yeah, I'm like, I could have gone to Outback. It's literally across the street. Yeah, but $43. The tickets were $8.99 a piece, and then basically every item was like almost $10. So that's where it added up. And I was like, wow, I didn't realize. I mean, not that it really matters, but I'm just saying, like, you don't really think of cost of things. And $43 just to go see a movie seems like a lot of money.
Yeah, that's why you got to sneak snacks in to your purse. Just,
and let me tell you,
just
let me tell you. Okay, so we get settled in the theater, and speaking of sneaking snacks in, there's a group of people like in front of me, and they wait until like a really high pitched commercial, and then all pop their Cokes.
That's so funny.
I was like, really? I just paid $10 for a drink, probably like $8.99, but still that's like close to 10. And they've all brought in a canned soft drink. So who's the idiot?
Honestly, I'm going to tell you, not the last time I went to the movies, but the time before that. Chris and I were at the mall, and the movie theater is across the street from the mall, but they have a food court, and I have a never full purse, which, as you guys know, is pretty big. Or if you don't know, we'll post one so you can see how big it is. I actually got a whole takeout order of Chinese food, and I put it in my bag, and then I ate it when we got there.
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, if I got into the movie theater and I smelled your rank Chinese food, I would have been pissed.
Oh, he definitely was like, people can smell that. And I'm just like, honestly, who doesn't sneak food into the movies at this point? Because nobody's paying $100 for two people to eat some snacks.
But Kail, nobody sneaks in a buffet. Like, there's a difference here.
It wasn't a full buffet, okay? It was just like 3 or 4 things.
Like, if you want to pop your kid like a little popcorn and put it in a Ziploc, like, go for it. But you know what? I really wasn't planned for all of that. I really wasn't. And so I just got there and I was like, you know what? Whatever. It's going to be what it's going to be. But anyway, so I wanted to tell you about these life lessons in the movie because I was just amazed at how well the movie was done.
Yeah, tell me about it.
So one of the first lessons that I picked up on in the movie was that it was okay to be honest. And we've talked about that in the podcast before. Mm-hmm. And definitely Jackson picked up on it too, which I was like, wow, that's awesome that they can make it relatable enough for kids to be able to understand what they're teaching them, but also cool enough for parents to be able to enjoy the movie too. Basically, it was just talking about in the story that you can tell your friends how you feel, and in the end, true friendship will grow stronger because of that versus sugarcoating it. So I really liked that, and I was like, wow, I could take some of this advice. And then they go to the internet, and that was really like a cool experience because it was like the whole world of the internet, and the way that they depicted it was awesome. And they go to eBay to try to get this part for a game that was broken so that Vanellope, who is in that game, can go back to her game. And when she gets to the internet, her and Ralph, it's so shady and scary, and there's all these like pop-ups, and it was talking about how like through the story that you shouldn't read comments and that people can be so hurtful on the internet. So I really thought that was like an interesting play because I thought, wow, like kids are so young, and this is a nice way in a cartoon type movie to put it, that basically it's speaking to the masses that no matter who you are, people are going to be mean on the internet, and you just have to not read the comments.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty accurate. No matter who you are, there's always these internet trolls.
Yeah, you have to kind of just not care. It's a lot easier said than done some days, but
yeah,
I just really liked the play on it in the movie. And then Vanellope, she's a really cute like little character, but she is not princess looking. So she goes to Disney World to try to get likes. And when she goes to Disney World, she gets, and in the room with all of the princesses. And basically the moral of that part of the story was there's no right way to be a princess. You know, all of these princesses are absolutely beautiful and they all have like a unique talent or, you know, whatever it is. And it was basically just playing on that and that, you know, to love your unique qualities and that if everyone was the same, that life would be dull. So I really liked that too.
Oh, I love that. I definitely want to take the kids to see that. So maybe we'll go this weekend. Oh, actually, no, we won't because Friday is our Christmas party. So maybe we'll go Wednesday.
You will not go this weekend.
No. Speaking of that, our Christmas party is on Friday. That's so crazy. I feel like everything is happening so fast.
I know. I just feel like life is just in the fast lane. For sure.
Honestly. For the great gift givers out there, I have a tip for where to find the perfect gift for the guys on your list this year. It's called Man Crates, and they're going to be your best friend this holiday season. So let us tell you why.
And as I've said before, my husband loves these crates. We just got the office golf, and it was such a great crate. It had a lot of game improvement items packed into one, and the price was great as well. They are so fun and different, and they really do make great gifts.
So Man Crates knows what guys like, and they have hundreds of unique quality gifts, and he's guaranteed to love them. Like the Grillmaster crate and the King of the Barbecue with a cast iron smoker box and a brass knuckle meat tenderizer. Or the knife making kit, where he can build his own high-quality stainless steel knife. Most gifts ship in a sealed wooden crate with a crowbar so he can use his muscles to pry it open.
With Man Crates, you're giving him more than a gift. You're giving a gift experience you'll remember. And every Man Crate comes with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Listeners of our show, buy one gift and you will get the second gift for 25% off when you go to mancrates.com/coffee. This offer is only for the holidays. Buy one gift and get the second 25% off at mancrates.com/coffee.
That's mancrates.com/coffee.
So after we went to the movies, I had like a few errands that I needed to run. I needed to like exchange some stuff, and then I needed to go to Target, and I had ordered the Jackson's tacky Christmas sweater from Target. And have you ever done like the pickup at store, like where you already ordered online and pick it up?
No. Mm-mm.
Scam. Like total scam. So Will goes to the store the other night to pick up the thing that I ordered online, and they're supposed to have it ready. So he gets there and he says that he waits at like the customer service desk for a while, and he saw the person go back to the boys section and pick up the sweater and then bring it back. And I'm like, okay, that's really not how it's supposed to be set up. It's supposed to already be ready. Why are they hassling me over email? Basically, like, this is your last chance to come and get your sweater that you already paid for, but it's not even ready. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So Will gets it home and it's got like a rip on it. And I'm just like, did you see that? Did you investigate the sweater before you brought it home? Like, absolutely not.
Investigate the sweater or inspect the sweater?
Yeah, inspect it, whatever. Did you? Obviously not. So that got to be on my to-do list to exchange it. And when we went, of course, Jackson is like, oh, can we go to the toy section? We need to see if they have Penelope and Ralph so I can add it to my Christmas list. And I'm like, okay, so this is going to be hell. So go and exchange the sweater, go to the kids section and put all this stuff on his Christmas list. So let's just fast forward a little bit, because when we were getting there, it was basically pitch black. And it was not late at night. Like, I don't ever have Jackson out late at night. It was like 6:00 and pitch black and raining. And we go to cross the street from the parking lot to the door at Target and almost get hit by a car. And I'm like holding my hand up and I'm like waving my hands and I'm like, please stop. Like, please stop. I'm basically like screaming at this lady, and her husband's in the car and he's like, I guess also yelling at her. And he's like, stop, stop. Like, you can see him telling her to stop. And as we're like in the toy section and going around the aisles, this little lady finds us and she asked me if my name was Lindsie. And I said, yes, it was. And so I didn't know that was the lady that almost hit me. And she was like, oh my gosh, darling, I'm so sorry. I almost hit you in the parking lot and I just wanted to come and apologize. And she said, I loved watching you on Chrisley Knows Best. And I said, oh, well, thank you so much. And then she told Jackson, she was like, Jackson, I really miss seeing you on TV. And he was like, what station were you watching me on? And I'm like, Jackson, I'm going to need you to chill. I'm going to need you not to ask questions, okay?
Oh my God.
I'm going to need you to not do that ever again. Yeah, so kind of turned into like a lengthy conversation, but very sweet lady. But the whole point of me saying that is that it's the holidays. And even though this lady wasn't crazy, there are crazy folks out there. And just watch where you're walking and where you're crossing, because people this time of the year, they're so busy, you know, trying to get stuff done that their mind is like more like occupied than other times of the year. So just be cautious and keep your kids safe, because it's a dangerous world. Just telling you.
Honestly, like, you never know around department stores, malls, anything like that. The car could come out of nowhere. Person could cross out of nowhere, like cross the street out of nowhere.
For sure. So can you please tell me about your weekend?
Okay, I'll tell you. So I went to New York on Thursday, and it was just pure chaos from the second we got there until the second we left. And
of course.
Yeah, it was madness. So Thursday we get there. Friday night is my party. We start getting ready on Friday. I was so nervous that people were not going to come to my launch party that I was like, I'm just going to wait in the car and show up late, and hopefully people will be there. And then everyone's texting me like, Kail, where are you? Where are you? Like, you need to come up. Like, there's people here. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I go up there and immediately like bombarded with like, they had like the hedge wall that we did, because I wanted to do something that was like more like my brand, which, you know, those step and repeat banners was not really what I wanted. I wanted like a
right.
An earthy hedge wall. So we did that instead, and we did a black carpet instead of a red carpet. And as soon as you walk in, it was that. So I was like, as soon as I walked in, walked right into press. So I was like, okay, E! News, OK Magazine, Radar Online, the Ashley Reality Roundup. They were all there. And I mean, it was so great. It was such a good turnout. A lot of, a couple Are You the One cast members came. Landon Romano came. Careless Morgan came. They're on Instagram. They're so freaking funny. And you know what's crazy? Actually, one of my friends from middle school,
wow.
I met him probably in 8th grade. 9th grade was probably the last time I saw him. He lives in New York now with his husband, and they came, and I was just so happy and just excited that everyone showed up. And I know that you couldn't be there because we have our party this weekend, and you know, I don't hold that against you at all. I just was pleasantly surprised at the turnout, and actually a little overwhelmed because all these dispensaries and salons want to wholesale the product. So yeah, I'm doing business with direct to consumer, but I don't know how the wholesale world works, and I don't so I need to like figure out how to do that. But
and I remember when you first started this that like you didn't know what the interest would be, and like didn't really know about wholesale from the jump. So this will be interesting.
Well, and people are not really truly educated on CBD oil and the benefits of it. And so, you know, I've been actually learning a whole lot about it even more as I go. I met with this company who does everything with CBD oil. It's called Hemp Garden. And they asked me what my target market was. And I didn't really have a direct answer for that, because I feel like CBD oil can be anywhere from 18 to 65. Like, the benefits of it are so great. But yeah, I'm excited to see what it does, and actually wanted to offer everyone who listens to our podcast a discount to potheadhaircare.com. If you use coffee combos at checkout, you will get a 10% off code for anything on my website. So that's only for our listeners, and obviously you have to listen to this episode in order to get it. So, and it does not apply on any previous sales. So anyone that's already ordered, it does not apply to you. It's just for our listeners today, and it's a 24-hour code for Thursday only. So it will go from the time that this episode airs until 24 hours after, and that's it.
That's awesome. I got my press package, and literally UPS and FedEx showed up at my house on Friday, probably 4 times in different vans, and they probably were like, I hate this girl. Like,
yeah,
I hate her. And your package was the last one to arrive. And honestly, I wasn't expecting it on Friday. And so when I got it, I was like, what could this possibly be? But I had received so many other packages that I also didn't know what they were. So when I got it, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it got here so fast. And I actually used the Leave Me Be leave-in conditioner on Saturday whenever I washed my hair. And the smell and the texture was so good. Like a lot of times with other leave-in conditioners that I use, they can kind of be like a little bit too thick and feel like my hair gets too heavy. But with this, this one, it was just like really not watery. The consistency was just really good, and it smelled good too. So I was super excited about that. And I haven't had to
I'm glad you used it.
I haven't had to use the other products yet, but I will, and I'll let you guys know how I like them, and I'll give an honest review.
But yeah, other than that, I had a meeting with Hemp Garden after that the next day, or yeah, I guess it was the next day. And then I was so exhausted on the way home from New York, and I had my friends with me. It was Chris's cousin and sister, and my sister actually flew up from Dallas, and she came, and she was flying out of Philly instead of New York. And so we were driving back to Delaware, and I was so tired. I could not drive. I had to have someone else drive. And then I slept so hard because it was just such a chaotic like week into the weekend. And then like, I feel like my adrenaline was pumping. I had anxiety about the party. So it was just like a lot. And then I slept so hard when I got home.
That is awesome. I love the fact that you
just sounded like that girl from Mean Girls. Katie Heron punched me in the face one time. It was awesome.
It was awesome. No, like it really is awesome though. Like you were so stressed, like not stressed, but like kind of stressed.
Yeah,
and like
stressed,
worried.
for sure. Yeah.
And then it ended up going off so well. So I was really sad that I missed it and felt like major FOMO.
Honestly, though, we'll have so much fun at our Christmas party. So I'm excited to see you for that. And I can't wait for you to meet my security guard because he's so funny. But he's not taking no shit, so don't try to show up to our Christmas party acting a fool.
Yeah, don't, because first of all, I'm scared. And secondly, I'm scared. So don't. Can I just talk about how I feel like everything happens all at once in life. And I don't know if it's just a mom thing, if other people can relate, but I feel like, okay, if it's time for me to get my hair done, then it's also time for me to get my nails done, my eyelashes done. I need a facial. I need like all this stuff. And I sound
you got to do
so
it all
dramatic.
at once. Yes.
But why isn't it like where you can do one thing one week, like another thing another week? It just all happens at once and you feel like you have to get it all done like within a few days.
I kind of like having everything done at once because it's like, okay, I can go get my toes, my feet, and my lashes done, which I did get my lashes done last week for the first time in like a year. Get them
Did you
all
go to
done.
someone's house?
No, I did not go to someone's house. I went to someone's studio salon. So it was not someone's house. And yeah, I got them done because I was like, okay, I have my launch party this weekend and we're in New York. And then next weekend is our Christmas party for the podcast. So I was like, let me just, because I don't know how to put on strip lashes. I'm not really good at makeup or anything like that. So I just figured that the lashes would be best.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, if you get a sitter and do all the things in one day, then you kind of have the rest of your days to do like errands and like other shit.
Well, exactly. But I just feel like it's so expensive, like all at once. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, wow. Like, where did that come from? yeah, so I need to get my hair cut. I am going to get a facial this afternoon. And just so everybody knows, I don't live this cush and posh life. I am going to get a facial this afternoon after Jackson gets out of school, and he's coming with me. So yeah, it is for necessity, not for relaxation. So I really wish I was getting a massage to relax. But actually, the weekend after our Christmas party, I am going to like a little golf like resort place for a day. And I think Will's going to golf with his brothers and his dad. And then the girls are going to go to the spa. And I'm not quite sure if Jackson will ride in the cart with them and golf, or if he will bring his tablet and go with me to my massage. Either way, it's fine.
That's always so hard because I feel like would he want to golf, do you think?
I mean, first of all, it's probably going to be cold. So that's going to be a
people
hard
golf
pass.
in the cold?
Yeah. And I'm like,
I thought it was like
how
a
is that
spring
fun?
summer thing. First of all, I went to Topgolf for the first time a couple weeks ago. Do you know what Topgolf is?
Yes, actually, I like to go to Topgolf. I've only been one time, but that's fun. That's a whole different experience.
Well, I had so much fun, but I'm horrible at golfing. Like it was, I struggled. Like just to, I did not realize how hard golfing is. And I don't know if I was making it more difficult than it needed to be, but I struggled and I was really embarrassed, but also it was fun. And I liked that it was outdoors, but it also had like those heaters and stuff like that outside, so you could like enjoy yourself and not be frozen.
I love to go, and the appetizers are great. So I'm all down for a good time and good food and good company. So
maybe I'll have my birthday party there.
Yeah, definitely have your birthday party there, and I will come. I'm not a good golfer either. So yeah.
I came in second out of 4, so.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah, we all sucked.
Not bad, Smalls, not bad. Do you do Elf on the Shelf?
Fuck no. I can't remember to brush my teeth once a week, so I'm not going to remember to move a fucking elf around my house. No, we don't do that.
Okay. So, you know how we were talking about putting our Christmas stuff up the day after Thanksgiving?
Yes, which I got mine up slightly sooner than that. Right,
which is amazing to me because you're not a slightly sooner person. So, I was amazed. Anyhow, I got my stuff up, my tree up the day before Thanksgiving, but I didn't get any decorations on it or any other decorations out until the day after Thanksgiving. As I said, because, you know, I'm a planner and I stick to my plans. So this was early, right? So it was not December yet. And Jackson's like, okay, well, the Christmas stuff is out, so that means the elf is coming. And I'm like, no. Elf does not come until December the 1st. We cannot think of like 30-something things to move the elf. Like 25 is already enough. So 30, like, not slightly. So last night was the first night that we did the elf, and Jackson is obviously learning to read now. And so I feel like he picks up on writing, and he knows what my writing looks like. And I don't know if he knows what his dad's writing looks like. I don't know if Will really writes that much, but I know that he knows what my writing looks like because I write in his lunchbox every day. Like I write him a note. And so I had to like distort my writing for the first time doing the elf. And that was hard. Like it's so hard to change something that is just like a natural thing to do. Does that make sense?
Yes. Well, I don't know why that made me think of John Bonet Ramsey and the mom who the ransom note looks just like. That's immediately where my mind went, was like, because I remember them saying in the documentary, like, you, at first it looks weird, but then you can only hide your true writing and characteristics for so long.
Yeah. And I was trying to like make every letter different, but then I look back at the picture and I'm like, okay, none of those letters look really that much different than how I write. It looks the same as my writing, just like in a different way. Does that make sense?
Right. Yep. No, I get it. Okay, so you guys, no one wants to get sick for the holidays, and as you know, staying properly hydrated is one of the most important factors in the flu and cold recovery and prevention. Liquid IV contains 110% daily value of vitamin C and B12, so it can definitely come to the rescue this winter.
Yes, we also took it on our Disney trip. With the 16 hours in the park, Liquid IV was a lifesaver. The berry flavor is our favorite flavor, but they all taste great and are so convenient with little travel packets that you just put into your water on the go.
Liquid IV is a healthy, clean ingredient alternative to sugary sports drinks and is safe for pregnant and nursing women as well as children to consume. The entire family will love it, and I personally use it for fueling through tough workouts because it helps prevent cramping, fatigue, and promotes healthy post-workout recovery. This isn't your average electrolyte mix.
Liquid IV donates 1 serving to people in need for every order placed. I love Liquid IV, and I know that you will too. Right now, our listeners will get 20% off liquidiv.com when you use our code COFFEE at checkout.
That's 20% off anything you order on Liquid IV's website. Go to liquid-iv.com and enter our promo code COFFEE to get your savings and start getting better hydration. That's liquid-iv.com, promo code COFFEE. Don't wait, get hydrated today. What's next?
So basically, what I did for the first arrival of the elf was we have a little Christmas truck that's like a decoration, and it's like a vintage looking truck, and it's got like a wreath on the side of it. And I put Elfie in the back, and he was riding in the back of the truck with the Grinch That Stole Christmas movie. And I wrote a note, and that was our first night. However, I want to know if you guys are creative enough to come up with your own ideas, or if you want me to share my ideas daily so that you can either copy them or make a version of your own. I know it's so hard to come up with creative things. I feel like once you have done it for so many years, then it's like, okay, well, he's already done that and he's already done that. So I'm trying to come up with other ideas, and I have a list of things that I'm going to do. So if you guys want me to share, then just let me know in the comments on our Instagram.
What is the purpose of Elf on the Shelf? Like how did it start? And like because he does bad things, right? He's bad?
Yeah, I mean, I try not to make our elf do bad things because I don't want Jackson to like get any ideas. Kind of like mischief though, like he might get into something, but I try to make it more cutesy versus like making a whole mess. Cause to be perfectly honest, I don't want to clean it up. Like one time I did the flower and he was like doing the snow angel, and that was kind of a mess on my counters, and I was slightly freaking out, but I was like, you know what? It's for the child. So it'll be okay for however long it's going to be on the counter. I probably lost sleep, not going to lie.
But what's the purpose of it? Is it just for fun, or does it teach him a lesson, or like what? I don't get it.
We use it more for fun and like accountability. So
okay.
Jackson knows that like the elf is watching and he is Santa's helper. So he'll let him know like if he does anything bad. That's how we use it. I'm not sure how other people use it. Yeah. Also let us know how you use it. And if you use it, like if your elf like really gets into stuff and like does bad things, or how it's used, because I would be interested to know different people's takes on that.
I think it would be hard for me to start Elf on the Shelf anyhow, just because we don't do Santa. I think it would be like, yeah, my kids know that Santa, some families do Santa and there's elves that help him, but I don't think that they would put 2 and 2 together. Like it would be weird if we don't do Santa, but there's an elf at our house. You know what I mean?
Yes. And actually, speaking of that, somebody had asked us a little while ago why you don't do Santa, and if you did Santa as a kid, and what made you make that decision to not do it.
I did Santa as a kid. My family always did it. My cousins made me reindeer food every year, and I did that. And actually, I met up with my cousin in the city on Friday and was talking about that with her, because it does feel a little bit less magical, I think, because we don't do Santa now, but we don't do Santa because Isaac was probably turning 2 when I met Javi, and Javi's never grew up with Santa. That was never a thing for him. They always opened all their gifts on Christmas Eve. And so we kind of just adapted to those traditions, I guess, when Javi and I got together, and we were together for 5 years. So, I mean, at that point, you know, Isaac was 7, 8 years old. And so Lincoln, it was the same. And now that we're not together, we had already gone 7, 8 years without doing Santa. So it didn't really make sense to start.
Right.
Last year we didn't really do Christmas at my house. They went to their dad's. I don't know if Joe does Santa. I don't know if that's a thing. It does feel a little bit less magical because I remember, like, I would wake up in the middle of the night as a kid when I did live with my mom, and you know, did Santa come yet? And we'd put the reindeer food out and we'd put the cookie out, and but my kids they're not missing anything because they never had it. You can't miss what you've never had. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that they know other families do Christmas, but I'm hoping like hell they're not telling people that Santa isn't real. That's one thing that I'm hoping that they don't do.
So, guys, I'm sure you have all started your holiday shopping by now. And if you have a partner like my husband who doesn't really wear cologne, Scentbird is an easy and awesome way to introduce someone to new fragrances. I ordered my husband the Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue for Men, and I love it, and so does he.
First of all, Lindsie, remember that time in Tennessee where someone walked past us at the mall and you were like, he's wearing Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. And I was like, how the hell would you know that?
Oh my God. The stuff I say is so weird.
Every month you can choose a new fragrance from over 450 designer brands. Right now, I'm still on the Gucci, Bamboo by Gucci kick. I love it. And I feel like it's like an everyday fragrance I can wear. So you can try exactly the brands you want. It's the real deal. It's kind of like my monthly scent adventure. Choose a perfume, and then they'll send you a 30-day supply that sprays 120 sprays, and you can always smell amazing.
I like to skip department stores and pushy salespeople. That's why I always use Scentbird.com. With this exclusive offer, you'll get 50% off your first month today. That's only $7.50 for your first perfume.
That's SCENT bird.com/coffee. And use our promo code COFFEE for 50% off your first month. SCENT bird.com/coffee. Sign on and smell amazing. But yeah, I mean, we just do, you know, gifts from the family and from friends or whatever, and they don't seem to have any issue with it.
Well, that's interesting. I love to hear like how different people do. I did grow up with Santa, so obviously that was like a natural thing for me to do with my little one. Will grew up with Santa, so that was just something that was never really a thought to like not do it. But I will say, after starting Santa and then thinking of, okay, well, I'm teaching my child not to lie, and like it's not okay to lie, but then yet I'm promoting all these fictitious like characters and like making up that this is real. Is that like the right thing to do? Or
yes, I don't. There's to me anyway. I think that there's a complete difference between like lying and then believing in Santa or the Tooth Fairy or the Easter Bunny. Like, I think they're two different things. Like, yeah, it's not truthful, but at the same time, it's like I don't think that believing in Santa or the Easter Bunny was ever harmed anyone or taught them to lie. I don't think that's a thing.
Yeah, so I think I'm just like paranoid. So the funny thing is though, was that Jackson said the other day, he was like, Mom, I really think that I need to write a note to Santa and tell him that would be a good idea for him to be more healthier because eating all of these cookies is not good for him.
This is true. Good job, Jackson. He's just watching out for Santa's cholesterol. That's all.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love it.
I was going to say something. I don't remember what it was. Something about Christmas. Oh, I had a talk with Isaac last night because I don't know. I don't know if it's sibling rivalry. I don't know what it is. So I told him, I said, listen, like, we got to make better choices here. I don't like, it's one of those things like, what do you do when your kids are not behaving or making good choices? Because Christmas is right around the corner and then Isaac's birthday is 3 weeks after Christmas. And I don't know, like, has anyone that listened to our podcast ever not given their kids Christmas gifts because of their behavior? Because obviously you say like Santa's watching, or you guys do the elves that the elf is watching, but like, are you guys holding true to when you say if you're not behaving, you're not getting a Christmas gift, or you're not behaving, you're not getting a birthday gift? Because I feel like I'm struggling with that right now, because obviously it's Christmas or it's a birthday, and like, you don't want, I told Isaac yesterday, I said, you do not want to wake up on Christmas morning and see your brothers opening gifts and you're not. But that would be so heartbreaking for me. But sometimes I feel like I have to stand my ground. We talked about it before, like following through with the consequences.
That's so hard when you have other kids, because
right.
I think it's easier being a mom of one with that, because I can hold him accountable and there's nobody else that's doing the other stuff for him to have to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I would hate for if Isaac was not behaving and then he didn't get any Christmas gifts, but he sees his brothers. Like, I think that would be like, okay, he thinks that not only did he make bad choices and he's getting punished for that, but then he might think that I don't love him as much as I love his siblings. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want him to feel like, oh, you love Lincoln and Lux more than me.
So maybe you do the play of, you know, that you're doing Christmas on, you know, whatever day you're doing Christmas. You're doing Christmas on Christmas Day this year. So maybe you ground him. I don't know if you believe in grounding or, you know, taking things away, but maybe you do that the week leading into Christmas. So then he's coming off of it. So it's not like you're rewarding bad behavior and he's already had his punishment.
I see what you're saying. Okay. So then he wouldn't be left out of like Christmas or, you know.
Right, because he's already paid his debt, basically.
Right. You can't keep punishing for the same thing, you know?
Right.
So I don't know. It's one of those things where I gotta figure it out, because I had a nice long talk with him. It seemed like he told me he was going to make better choices last night. He said that he makes good choices at his dad's house, so he wants to make good choices here too. I said, okay, well, we'll see, because Christmas is right around the corner. Your birthday is right after that, and we got to figure this out. And I truly haven't gotten him anything yet, because I didn't know I didn't know how to deal with that situation.
Right. Well, maybe just think about that suggestion. And also, it's far enough away. So, guys, if you have any suggestions for Kail on this parenting journey, then make sure you send us a message on the podcast Instagram and give her some advice.
Yes, for sure. Okay, you guys. So I don't know about you, but I love my cozy bed, especially with winter right here. I want to be as comfortable and warm as possible. You guys know the typical person spends about 1/3 of their life in their own bed. It's time for an upgrade, and that's Brooklinen.
Named the winner of the best online bedding category by Good Housekeeping, Brooklinen is the fastest growing bedding brand in the world, over 30,000 5-star reviews. You guys, I love to give Brooklinen as a wedding or shower present, just because I know everyone will love them.
Oh, that's perfect. Brooklinen has an old-fashioned quality spirit despite totally modernizing an old industry. Bring 5-star hotel quality sheets to everyday life. Luxury sheets without the luxury markup. And I love Brooklinen because they have so many different patterns. You can mix and match. You can do all white, and they're just so comfortable. So how could you go wrong?
Exactly. Their method is to take out the middleman, keep things personal, just between them and the customer. These sheets don't just feel great, but they look great too, with many different colors and materials to choose from.
My Brooklinen sheets are the best and most comfortable sheets I've ever slept on. Now it's time for your upgrade. Brooklinen.com is giving an exclusive offer just for our listeners. Get $20 off and free shipping when you use our promo code COFFEE at brooklinen.com.
Brooklinen is so confident in their product that all of their sheets, comforters, and towels come with a lifetime warranty. The only way to get $20 off and free shipping is to use promo code COFFEE at brooklinen.com. That's BROOKLINEN.com, promo code COFFEE. Let's get back to the show. So we got a message on the Instagram, and it was a person seeking advice. And the question was, I'm seeking advice for a married couple who just aren't on the same page with having another child. I had both my kids really young, and now that I'm in a good place, I'd like to have one more. The way you're supposed to. My husband isn't on board. I had my son before I met my husband, but my daughter we had together. I was 18 and he was 20. We've been married for almost 8 years, and I'm ready. I'm ready, but he's content with things the way that they are. As a result, I'm finding myself so torn. Please help.
Oh, that's so hard because I actually know people that have been in that position, and I never know what to say because my thought process was always, you will never regret having a child. You're not going to, you're going to love your child. You're never going to regret having that child, but you may regret not having a child. And I don't know that for me, like I want more kids. So I don't know that I could be with someone that doesn't want to have more kids. Like, I don't know if that would work out for me. So I don't know what to say to people like that. And I've seen it so many times.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me that I would have to decide if staying with the person meant more to me than what I was giving up, or if what I was giving up was too much to stay with the person.
That's such a hard,
and especially for this person, because they already have a child with this person and they've been married to them, but the first child was not theirs
was
together.
Not his. So and it's like, you don't want to convince somebody to have a child with you. You know what I mean? So it's like one of those things where.
I've always said that
so
about with Will. If I was at a point where I definitely wanted another child and he's already, voiced that he doesn't have a desire to, not to say that he hasn't already changed his mind. I'm just saying that if he truly did not have a desire to have another child, that would be like a hard pass, because I'm not going to have a child with somebody that I know that they don't want it, because I don't know what I'm going to face once I have the child.
Right.
Is it going to be? Yeah. So I think that's just so hard. I think you have to decide if, like I said, if you having another child means more to you than your marriage to him, or if your marriage to him means more to you and you just give up the dream because you already have a healthy child.
So then what's the alternative though? If she was to leave him, I mean, yeah, I guess she could have a child on her own, but what kind of, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, because I've definitely considered it. Like, you could have a child on your own, but then what does that look like for the dynamics of the whole, like all the children? Or you're going to leave him for someone else who does want a family, but then look at the time frame on that. Okay, so in worst case scenario, you leave him and you're with somebody else and they eventually want kids and this, that, and the third. That's going to take time. That could take 1 year, 2 year, 3 years or more. And then at that time, you might have changed your mind and realized that you don't actually want to have another child. So then you know what I mean? So, I mean, what about like foster to adopt or foster children, where you're having another child, maybe not necessarily like your birth child, but you're having a child, you're having that connection, and maybe you eventually foster to adopt, or you know what I mean? Because maybe for the dad, maybe it's the baby stages that are hard. I have a cousin who just like, he could not relate, or like he just had a really hard time with the baby stages until they were able to walk and talk. Like then he was more
right.
hands-on.
And I think a lot of men, go through that is hard, because babies are typically women's babies, and
their work.
Yeah. And it is hard, but I think maybe the best thing to do is find out why he doesn't want another child and all of those reasons, and then put your reasons of why you do want to have a child and put those together and see what you can come up with collectively.
Yeah, whether it's adoption, foster care, maybe you guys just, I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's an alternative to having your own children.
So let us know if you're listening. Let us know how it goes, and we wish you nothing but the best.
Of course.
Y'all, it's the holidays and a season of giving, so I think that you should treat yourself. I am obsessed with Third Love's Essential Organics robe and pajama sets. And of course, my first love, the Third Love t-shirt bra. With more sizes than most other brands, Third Love is an industry leader with 70 sizes, including its signature half cup sizes. With quality in every stitch, the details truly make the difference, from premium fabrics to expert design.
And a super huge bonus is that there's no more awkward fitting room experiences. My favorite style is the 24/7 perfect coverage bra because it keeps everything in. You guys know I'm super busty. I'm always spilling out over the top of my bras. And this just holds everything where it needs to be, and my clothes fit nicely over it. Third Love just added 24 new sizes, making them the industry leader with a total of 70 sizes. Using thousands of real women's measurements, Third Love designs its bras with breast size and shape in mind so they fit impeccably and feel even better.
Find your fit in 60 seconds, comfort and quality, tagless labels so no itching, straps that won't slip, ultra soft smoothing fabrics. They even have a new cotton collection, lightweight memory foam cups. How can you go wrong? And returns and exchanges are always free and easy, so why not try it?
Third Love knows there's a perfect bra for everyone. So right now they're offering our listeners 15% off your first order. Go to thirdlove.com/coffee now to find your perfect fitting bra and get 15% off your first purchase. That's thirdlove.com/coffee for 15% off today. What's next?
The next thing that we got is for us to talk about why it's so hard for young women to be able to leave a situation that you know is not going to end well.
Oh, yeah.
All these things are so relatable.
Honestly, I have no advice on that because there's been so many times that I just don't leave a situation that I know is not good for me. I cut my mom off when I knew that wasn't good for me. But when it comes to like relationships or friends, like I will let someone just use me and use me and use me and use me, and I don't ever cut them off until I should have, you know what I mean? Like when I should have cut them off a long time ago.
Right. Yeah. That's so hard. That is so hard. And especially when you feel like you've either known a person for a really long time or you have already invested so much time, you feel like you've wasted all of that time. So it's easier to stay in that same mindset and in that same situation because you feel like if you get out of it, there's been so much time lost. I think a lot of people struggle because of that. I don't think that I would stay for that reason, though.
I don't know what it is. I've definitely stayed in relationships, though, that are honestly would say that I stayed for all of my relationships for too long.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I think
we have this like want and desire to like change that person or stick around until it gets better, and you want to hope and just wish that the situation will be better. Or like in a relationship with your significant other, you want to be the reason why they change. You want to be the reason why they do better. You want to be that reason. And so you stick around hoping that that's going to happen. And then it's like, after all is said and done, it's like you went through all this bullshit for someone else to reap the benefits of your significant other growing up or doing better or treating them right. And it's like, well, damn, I wasn't,
right.
I was just a stepping stone. At least that's what I've experienced in my life. I don't know about other people, but that's what I've experienced. Like, okay, I went through all this bullshit and tried to help you and change you and make you a better person. And then it didn't work out. And then now you're with somebody else and they're
reaping the benefits.
Yeah. Of the stuff that I grew with them for. Does that make sense?
That was my biggest hang up with my first separation from Will. Honestly, I said that over and over again, that I've been through so much. Like we went through college together. We went through so many life changes together. We worked together when we were 19 years old. So, you know, it was really first serious boyfriend and girlfriend first for both of us. We did the whole college life. So like partying together, you know, his whole baseball journey together, his first job, everything together, and bought our first house together. had a child together. All of those things are hard to just like give up and to say, okay, well, like I can fully 100% say I'm okay with leaving this.
Mm-hmm.
And that was such a hang up for me for whatever reason. And I did say over and over again, you know, I have done all of this stuff with him. Like I've helped him learn to keep a place. You know, I've helped him learn not to wash all of your clothes together. I've helped him, you know, learn to do things and vice versa. Like he helped me in different ways that, you know, I couldn't help myself, and I helped him in ways that he couldn't help himself. And that's hard to just throw in the towel and be like, okay, I basically seasoned you and now I'm going to let you go. You're going to let me go. And whoever we're with next is going to reap the benefits of all of the hard work that I put in and you put in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that
sounds about right.
Horrible. And I think that's why so many people have a hard time with divorce and then finding your next partners, that naturally there's going to be resentment there towards that person and you don't even know them.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. I mean, and even like I've been in relationships where it's not just like life things, but it's like, okay, we've had like a mutual friend die, or we've cheating, we get through it, and now all of a sudden we're in a good place and we're going through this and we're going through that, and we get through all the bullshit. You know what I mean? Like we get through anything that life can throw at us, and now all of a sudden we're going to end it and you're going to go be with someone else and be happy. And I don't know, maybe it's a selfish thing. Maybe it's because I have low self-esteem. I don't really know, to be honest.
It's so hard, but I hope that whoever asked this question, I hope that this was able to help you and other people who are listening. Not that we have the right answers, but at least you don't have to feel alone because we've been there.
Yeah, agreed. For sure.
I did want to say that the topic about chores, tons of people responded, and a lot of people said different things, but a lot of people said a lot of the same things. So I was very interested in the response, but also the fact that other people collectively have been able to figure it out and we couldn't.
Okay, well, what did they say? Because now I'm interested.
So I'm just going to read one response, but this was kind of across the board. Having raised 3 boys, I found that one of the best methods were to tier the chores. So, for example, Jackson and Lincoln might make their bed for free and then maybe empty all the trash cans in the home for payment. The first chore is something that he should be doing, and the other is not something he would need to do when he is a teen, but is still a huge help to you. I always made need to do chores free and like to do chores for payment. This way you can make the chores for payment harder as they get older, like actually taking the trash out and so on. Hope this helps. Thanks and Merry Christmas.
I love that.
Me too.
Because you're teaching them what they need to do in life, whether they like it or not. And then they need to know, okay, yeah, when the trash is full, it's time to take it out, but you can get paid to do it right now. And then it would be one of those things where that would eventually, they would know that they have to take the trash out and they wouldn't get paid. But as they're younger, they would get the payment. I love that. I think that's a great idea.
So I thought that that was great advice. And thank you all for sending messages. They all were equally great and we appreciate it. And I'm definitely going to implement the tier system in my home. Just switching gears from like parenting. I wanted to talk about this funny article that I saw over the weekend, and I could not wait to podcast just so that I could talk about it because I literally was dying laughing. This was the headline. Florida men.
You already know Florida. Like, Florida has the crazy people.
One disguised in a bull costume.
A bull?
Yes. Allegedly tried to burn down ex-boyfriend's home with spaghetti sauce. This is real.
They must have been on them bath salts.
This is real. So 2 Florida men are accused of breaking into their ex-boyfriend's home using ragu sauce to try to burn it down.
How do you burn something down using ragu sauce? First of all, ragu is not good.
First of all, no diss on ragu, but you are busted. Okay. So they were arrested for breaking into the home and stealing several items, which was a flat screen TV, a window AC unit, and a vacuum. And the victim called 911 after being alerted that the security cameras of motion was detected, and a towel had been placed over one of the cameras. And when the police arrived, they saw an SUV leaving the area and just conducted a routine, stop. And the 2 men inside the vehicle were identified as these 2 men, and they said that they were just picking up clothes from the house. And the victim told them that one of them was wearing a bull costume. So the men initially denied that they did any type of burglary. But when the police went to the home, they found a burning pot of ragu sauce and a washcloth near the stove burner. And it was there as an effort to start a fire. And the victim made the funniest. No, it's real. The victim made the funniest statement. He said he was trying to make it look like I left the stove on, but who gets up at 2 a.m. and fixes sketty? Like, first of all, no.
What? That's what he said.
Yeah, that's what he said. Kail, I was crying when I got to the part where he said, who gets up at 2 a.m. and fixes sketty? I fell out.
How did they spell sketty? How did they spell that?
Sketti. I said, this isn't real. Like, this is not real news. Like, this has to be fake news. And so I did more investigation, and it is real. And my whole question around the whole thing is, okay, there's 3 guys involved. So they said his exes.
Are they all boyfriends? Or okay,
so
one's an ex.
Were they
the new
all,
boyfriends?
But were they all boyfriends together, or were they like?
I think the new boyfriend helped the mutual boyfriend rob the ex-boyfriend.
I need to know answers.
We need answers. I wonder if they. I hope someone shares this podcast with them and they could let us know.
Me too. For whoever was wearing the bull costume, I need to know why you were wearing a bull costume. Like, what was the reasoning?
It was a disguise.
Kail, you don't just disguise yourself as a bull.
Like
the other person wasn't in costume. The other person wasn't in costume.
Right. Like, so both of them should have been in costume, or neither one of them should have been in costume.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Both or nothing.
Because maybe it's the new boyfriend and he didn't want to be seen by, he didn't want the ex-boyfriend to know who he was.
Okay, well, whatever they were doing, I'm concerned. And I just want to know why they thought that putting spaghetti in a towel, near the burner was going to start a fire.
Because it would have gotten so hot and then the towel would have caught on fire.
What sneaky snakes. And to do it with ragu.
Oh my God.
At least a good pot of spaghetti.
Right.
That's just
so it wasn't even noodles. I think if he would have just put noodles in a burner in a pot on the burner and turned it on without any water, would have started the fire quicker.
Oh, it would have been immediate. It would have been flames. Moving on though. Okay, so you know how I talk about going to get a drink at McDonald's all the time?
Yes.
Okay, so
a soft drink.
Yes, soft drink. My McDonald's just recently had a renovation. So I don't know, have you been into a McDonald's that has the touch screens kind of near the checkout?
No.
Okay, so on the new McDonald's that have had their renovations, they are touchscreen ordering machines inside of like the McDonald's right
I
by
know what
the
you're
checkout.
talking about. Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I have actually.
I've actually used that like 2 or 3 times. If there's, like 3 people in line, obviously they have the cups where you can grab them yourself. So I'm just going to pay at that little machine and grab my cup and like peace out. So, definitely have done that, but I was disgusted when I saw this article talking about how fecal matter was found on every McDonald's self-service touchscreen. And this study was done in the UK, but still like the United States is just as nasty. So, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, is this really real? So the samples for this specific study were taken at 6 McDonald's in London and 2 in another location. And I just cannot believe, but if you really think about it, like people don't wash their hands, or think about people who come in like traveling or whatever, come in, go to the bathroom, maybe not wash their hands, come back, touch the screens. Think about how nasty that is. And then you're going to touch your food.
That's absolutely disgusting.
So the people that were doing the study said that they were so surprised at how much gut and fecal bacteria there was on the touchscreen machines, and they cause all types of infections that people pick up in hospitals that were actually the type and strains of bacteria that were on the screen. So, yeah, I just cannot.
Just wash your fucking hands, people.
Just maybe they should not make touchscreen things, because when Will was working for Sprint, he told me about how nasty phone screens and stuff were, and you don't really think about it. But yeah, it is nasty. People take their phones to the bathroom and will like sit and take a dump and then like be on their phone. And it's like, okay, wow. Yeah. Like obviously they're not touching their butt, like, but still kind of, they probably like are. So just nasty.
I saw Randy, Chelsea's dad from Teen Mom 2. He's a dentist. And I don't know why I remember this. He had posted something, I want to say it was on either Instagram or Twitter, about keeping your toothbrush like 8 feet away from the toilet, because when you flush, stuff gets shot up into the air. Stuff gets shot up into the air.
I could have lived without knowing.
I'm just letting you know so that you could keep your toothbrush 8 feet away.
My toilet is in a different part of my bathroom, and it has a separate door.
So is mine. But other people's are not like that.
Kill. They didn't need to know that then, because they might not have enough space between 8 feet to keep their
But they can cover their toothbrushes with Quip.
True. This is very
Quip.
Very true. Use a toothbrush cover, guys, please. You know how we were talking about that story about the daycare and them being like horrible to kids?
Which one? Because I feel like we've definitely talked about that more than once.
Well, just any of them. It doesn't really matter. Basically, they're all the same, just a little different. Anyhow, I saw this article, and you're going to freak out, about a substitute teacher taping a student to a chair.
No.
You said
what, duct tape?
Long pause. No. Okay, so the story is that during a regular just like class, the teacher was teaching, which I've never known a sub to like really teach, but apparently this was a long-term substitute, which is a little bit different.
Sub?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And told the student that if he did not return to his seat, she would tape him to his chair. And the student found the remark funny. And so he did not return to his chair. So she proceeded to do as she said that she would. And it didn't go into detail about what kind of tape that was used. But the superintendent said that it's never acceptable in a school setting, and that they were just shocked and appalled about hearing about it. First of all, it's never acceptable, even not in a school setting. Like, you don't tape your kid to a chair. So I was kind of like,
my thought process behind some of these stories is like, this day and age, like everything either gets recorded without you knowing or with you knowing, or it's going to go viral. It's going to hit the media. Like, you cannot do something like that and be so stupid as to think that that's not going to come back and literally bite you in the ass. Like, I don't understand the mentality. Like, I'm not going to do something like that and then think that, one, it was okay, but two, I'm going to get away with it because somebody somewhere is going to tell somebody or record it and you're going to get in huge trouble. Like, what the fuck are you thinking?
Well, and it's not like it was a he said, she said. It was like in front of a whole class. So like, obviously.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't be that fucking stupid to do something like that in front of a bunch of people.
And if you are that dumb, you shouldn't, I'm glad you got caught because you shouldn't be an educator anyway. Like, you shouldn't be subbing anyway.
I agree. But I don't think that the qualifications for subs are. I think you don't even need a degree to be a substitute teacher. You could just have like some.
Nope. For a long-term substitute, you do have to.
Oh, okay.
They're required to pass background checks, and they must have at least 48 college credits. So.
Oh, well, you don't need a degree then. You just need credits and a background check.
So sometimes, though, with long-term substitute teachers, they have them for like every county. And only like an allotted amount of long-term subs that they have to have a bachelor's degree to be a long-term sub. And this one was a long-term sub. So I don't know what level of education. Either way, I don't care what level of education you have. You do not tape a child to a chair.
I agree. I'm with you on that 100%.
So let us know what you guys think and what you would do if somebody taped your kid to a chair. That's all we really have time for today. If you guys are listening, we cannot wait to see you at the Christmas party in Chattanooga on Friday. We hope you guys all have a great week. If you have not followed us on @Coffee Combos Podcast on Instagram, follow us on there. We do all of our updates for everything there. And if you have not given us a 5-star review on iTunes, it's very easy. You just go to the podcast app for iTunes. It's purple. You type in Coffee Combos, search it, click the 5th star, and you can also leave a written review as well. We love reading them. We hope you guys have a fantastic week, and we'll talk to you next week.
See ya.
This podcast is brought to you by Wave Podcast Network. Check out all of our shows, including the Brain Candy Podcast, I Don't Get It, Babes and Babies, Coffee Convos, and Let's Talk About It.